Hey guys, so Miko's sick, poor little baby. He's outside. When I got home, he was over at the end of the yard, and the way it looked like from his legs, it looked like he'd been hit by a car or something. But then I go out, I look out there and he's gone. I'm like, okay, well his legs are working fine enough, so he hasn't been hit by a car. Um, he was over there. He got up, followed me over there. I put some food out, so he had something to eat, and then he just immediately went under the chair because there's like that little cat house, fluffy house thingy for them. So he's in there sleeping right now. I mean, I looked up symptoms, and one of them is be more vocal. Yeah, he's definitely more vocal today. So, I mean, the weather's just been changing, and he's probably just one of those cats that just, like humans, the weather starts changing, and Mitty, mine and my friend's cat, same way. Usually he gets sick around March or April, but the weather, it's been going from like 50 degrees to like almost 70 degrees, back to like 50. Now it's like today it's like 72. It's like it's going back and forth. So I'm sure, you know, as long as he's drinking and eating, which he is, because that's like I said, that Mitty, same thing. He'll just kind of lay around, not do anything. But Mitty, he doesn't become more vocal. He doesn't become more clingy. He just kind of does his own thing. But yeah, little Miko is sick, so he's up there catching some Z's, and everyone else is kind of protecting him. It seems everyone else is outside, just kind of around. Um, we also have the new cat. I called him D Luke. So he's like a white cat, and he's got like orange all over him. So I finally have a D Luke to my Kaya. So Um, I haven't seen Jiraiya in a while. Jiraiya was the is the big fluffy brown cat. Last time I saw him, it looked like someone had thrown up on his head, but I think it was either he got into a fight or something, like he had like a, a cyst or something that maybe, because it was all, like I said, it looked like someone threw up on his head. And then I was coming inside to get like paper towels, but as I was walking inside, I see him walking away. I'm thinking it's like, well, it's supposed to rain today or tomorrow, so the rain will just, you know, especially if it was like a wound or something, that rain will kind of help, flush it out and all that. So, but I haven't seen him in a week. You know, the weather's starting to be to where they just kind of do their own thing. When it's colder out, they tend to stay in one area. Now, Kaya, I don't think he's going to be the kind of cat to ever really go off. Miko's been going off a lot by himself, not coming back for like a day and a half. Like, I'll go out in the morning and see him, and then he won't come back till like the next day. So, I mean, he is the oldest of the kids. So, he's just kind of doing his own thing now, which is fine, but Kaya tends to stay here. He's either sleeping on the porch, my roommate's brother's porch in like a little box, sleeping in like the bundle of twigs and sticks over there, or he's up here and waiting for grandpa to come out. I let him in earlier, obviously. I always, whenever I get home from work, I always let him in the house because he's good. He's the kind of cat where you can let him in and not have to worry. Most of the time, he comes in the house, he gets something to eat, and then he just kind of chills. He follows me around, or he'll, you know, whatever. I don't have to worry about him. So, but yeah, Miko's sick, which again, he'll be fine, hopefully. But when I came home, I'm like, don't tell me he got into a fight or he got hit by a car. But then when I saw him move around, I'm like, okay. I think there might be some maybe constipation, but that sorts itself out usually on its own. As long as he keeps eating and drinking properly, it kind of just sorts itself out. Um, but yeah, poor little Miko. If it is just a flat out sickness, like I said, I'm not too surprised. I've been getting sick because of the freaking weather going back and forth. Like I said, Mitty gets sick around this time. He'll probably get sick like next month or so. It's like clockwork. Every month, every year, right around when it becomes closer to springtime, he just gets sick. My friend will be like, "Yeah, Mitty's sick again." I'm like, "Well, just let him be." Sometimes the best thing to do if they don't want to drink or anything, you give them Pedialyte, like regular no flavor Pedialyte, because that's got all electrolytes and all that great stuff to kind of help them out. Um, because they need the hydration more than they need the food. So normally you just take like a little baby syringe, just fill it and just right in their mouth. People were like, but it's hard to do that. It's like, no, it's actually really easy. Like if you look on the side of their mouth, there's like this little gap um in between, you know, their little baby fangs and the rest of their teeth, and you just stick it in there and they'll swallow it. So you take like one or two, sometimes maybe three, and just they're fine the rest of the day. So if they don't want to get up and eat or drink or whatever, it doesn't matter because you've given them something with all those electrolytes and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, and that's actually what I might have to buy if he's still like this tomorrow. Obviously, I have to assume maybe it is a sickness, so I'll have to go and get Pedialyte or something for him. A pet parents and pet grandparents job is never done. And the family outside just keeps freaking growing. Like I said, now we have D-Luke, so I mean before it was just Meowsy and Venti, and then Meowsy gets pregnant, Venti dies. Now I've got Miko, I've got Kaya, I've got well, I think Lucifer has been around here for a while. But now I've got freaking D-Luke to worry about. Like I said, Jiraiya, wherever he is right now, he's doing Jiraiya pervy stuff, writing a new book or something. Um, so always adding to my little somehow my cat horde to my army. I'm building an army. Um, but anyways, so work. Wah, 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 wah. So I was sitting outside, and the head honcho, who's above, I think, who's above Lyle and Kent and even my boss, she comes out. She's like, "Oh, hi, John. How you feeling?" I'm like, "Tired." She's like, "I bet." She's like, "I thank you for doing what you can to keep up with that cardboard." So, I took that time and I'm like, "Okay, you're higher. You're the higher compared to Lyle and even my boss." I said, "In your opinion, would you consider me a good employee?" She's absolutely, without hesitation, because I'm like, that's all I need to know. I'm like, because, I'm basically made to be, made to feel like I'm some bad employee that doesn't do my job. I told her, I was like, you know, I said to my boss, I was like, yeah, I need, someone needs to be down there, all day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And my boss was like, well, why would anyone be down there all day when you're not down there all day? So, like today, I got there 7:30, but I had to leave early today. My landlady wasn't able to pick me up today. They had a doctor's appointment and they weren't going to get out for a while. And then Skusa picked me up at 12 something. So, but he's like, "No, I know. I'm like, you are a good employee. I see you down there working hard and doing what you can to keep up on everything." I said, "Well, that's all I need to know because my boss, makes me seem like I'm this terrible employee who doesn't get anything done." But interesting tidbit, I found out that the universal boxes, those really the big ones that we've been doing, we have two big boxes, the Aquafull ones and then Universal. Well, Apparently, we uh we haven't needed to do the universal ones should still be getting bundled up, just as they are, just wrapped up. Um, but the Aquafil ones we should be bailing. But she's like, yeah, that should really take a lot off of you because those universal ones shouldn't be down there. They should be, you know, there was 3 piles when I left, and I think all of them were pretty much universal. So she said, well, I'm going to lunch now. When I get back, I'll see what I can do for, that because we're not supposed to be bailing those. The only ones we're supposed to be bailing are the Aquafil ones, like the big Aquafil ones. So of the big box, like the big boxes, those are the ones we should be bailing, not the universal ones. So she's like, that should really ease up on you, ease up on you down there. So you don't have to do nearly as much. Because usually when I go down there, it's just all universal boxes. I'm like, they're bigger, they're heavier, they don't fold correctly, take up more space in the baler. They're harder to get into the baler once it's filled up to a certain point. And quite frankly, I'm tired of slamming my hands against the freaking 2 metal bars in the baler trying to freaking get the damn things in. It's ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. So today, I just stuck with the easy stuff. I did 2 bales of cardboard. I did about 30 bags of lint. I mean, yeah, it was about, let's see, the first box had about 12, 13 bags in it. And then every subsequent box I did had about 5 or 6. So yeah, I did about 30 something, almost 40 bags of lint. And I did plastic. It looked like there was a lot of plastic, but it really wasn't. But I also did it to kind of do an experiment because now today there was no lint to be done, no plastic. Um if there was carpet that needed to be done, my roommate would have done it when she brought the rest of the carpet down earlier. And luchador, that probably won't have to be done till probably the end of this week, maybe even next week. So tomorrow, if there is anything that gets brought down, there should be no reason. Because normally they'll go down, they'll do carpet, luchador, plastic, the easy stuff. But I made sure there was nothing left. There's nothing down there that really needs to be done. So are they going to do cardboard? And with the ones I did, I actually marked so that way I know if they're the same piles that have been sitting there or new piles. So, but if what she said is true, then those piles may not even be there since they're universal. They're not supposed to be bailed anyway. So, but hopefully they won't be. Um, I was gonna go over and do tubes today, but nope. Like the tubes are piling up, but the forklift drivers can't even get into where the bale is. There's like these huge, massive bundles of tubes, and so I did. What was it last week? It was either last week or the week. But I did a bale and all that. It's still sitting there. I think it was last week or something, or the week before. Wait, was it? What's today? I don't think it was last week. Um, Let me think. Let's see, today's Monday. Yeah, it wasn't last week. It was like last, not last Friday, but the Friday before that. Yeah, because that's when Kevin was down there. He was down there for a little bit. He was doing yarn, so that gave me time to go over and do the tubes. And then I did a little bit. I managed to push some of it out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you can go back to you can go to the baler now." So yeah, It's just it's freaking stupid. But the fact that the higher up, without hesitation, outright said, "Yes, I am a good employee," you know, because like she's like, "I appreciate you working hard down there. Like I go down there and I see how hard you're working." I'm like, yeah, like I said, it's just, she makes me feel like I don't do anything. I'm like, I'm stressing myself out. If anyone's noticed, I don't have any freaking gray hairs really anymore. I'm so like, how stressed does one person have to be for gray hairs to not come in? Like, that's how stressed out I am. That gray hairs are like, you know what? I'm done. I don't even want to do my job anymore. You know? I'm down there, I'm dry hurling into the freaking garbage can. It would be throw up if I had anything in my stomach, but then on the days where I do have something in my stomach, I'm fucking throwing up into the garbage can. Because I'm so freaking stressed out down there, so overworked down there. My boss seems to care only about the freaking housekeeping being done. And Kevin was down there the other day. He's like, "Why does she not prioritize the cardboard? She knows it's what piles down here the fastest and what piles up the most." I'm like, I don't know. I'd like to know. But I also did bring up the on a die range, and the woman did say that with die range we don't have to worry about any cardboard coming over, just more like little scraps. So sometimes if we're lucky we can just kind of throw them out. Um, so that's good to know. She's like, yeah, you're not gonna have any cardboard. The most you'll have are like the little cutout scraps or whatever that they and then that's it. I'm like, well, that's good to know. But yeah, so hopefully, so if there are more universal ones on Wednesday, I know that I don't need to do them because. But then there's a matter of, are they all universal? Meaning when the people are separating, taking the stuff out, are they putting all the universals with the universals and all the aquafills with the aquafills, or are they just, you know, putting them all together? Because if that's the case, it's going to be more annoying for me. I'm going to have to go through the entire freaking thing and separate them. No. No. But, yeah. So, hopefully that what she says is right. I mean, she's a higher up. She's higher than my boss. She's higher than Lyle. She's higher than Kent. She's like the head honcho when it comes to stuff down there. So, I think she would know. So, having less of the big cardboard to do definitely is a lot better. And the ones that we do have, the big boxes are definitely a lot easier, because they're just like the regular boxes except longer. So but they're still easier to put in than the universal ones, which are really really freaking thick. In fact, I hurt my wrist because I have to slam it down in order to flatten it out. Because sometimes when you fold them over, they don't flatten themselves. You have to kind of crush them down. But nope, this box didn't want to crush down properly so I had to really put force, and it just. Then I've got to try to stick it into the freaking baler and. Story of my life. Anyway, moral of the story is Miko's sick, so send lots of love. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.